How's it going, everybody? It's Matt again. Today we're going to take a look at another one of NEWAGE's Legend Scale third-party transformers. It's going to be H65 KEATON this time, or their Legend Scale Hoist. Just came out a little while ago. But yeah, so here's the front of the box. Obviously, it's always the same thing that NEWAGE always does, is that kind of like their toy, harkening back to their like the original G1 toy box art and everything. But yeah, there it is with the bottom and side, and the back, and the other side, and the top. But not here for the box. Here is the instructions. They're decent enough. I do like down here. I don't know if I've seen many people point it out. These are supposed to be so you can cut these out. So if you want to, you can take a pair of scissors and cut this out, and you have little blueprints. There's the purple and there's white version for, I can't remember what this thing was from the cartoon that he was building, but you can cut it out, and then you have like a little blueprint paper that you can have him hold, which is kind of cool. But yeah, so there's the instructions. We're going to come with a bunch of accessories. We're going to come with 2 hands, kind of just NEWAGE's regular old displayed hands that have a little joint here to pivot the wrist in and out. We have a little hammer part that you can plug into his hand or his arm. And we have his little cannon piece for one of his arms. And we have another part for Autobot X, or Autobot Spike. We have the head. Come on, camera. Focus. Focus, camera. Oh my gosh, come on. There it is. There's the head. I think the face sculpt is decent enough. I have some nasty sprue marks on it though, but I think it's good enough. But now we can combine that with the rest of the pieces that we already have. Just pop it right on there. There we go. It's a nice little ball joint. So we have almost a complete Autobot X. This thing has been such a long time in the making. So we're just missing the other leg, and I think we're missing the weapons that go here on the arm and on the shoulder. So we'll see who those end up coming with. Part of it's probably going to end up coming with Sunstreaker, or not Sunstreaker, Sideswipe whenever that comes out. So I would assume the leg would probably come with him. So we'll see. But yeah, so another part for Autobot X. But of course, here he is. Here is Hoist. And he is, of course, as NEWAGE always does, he's beautifully painted. A nice kind of like, it's not quite just like a glossy green. It's almost got like flecked paint. It's like flecked metallic almost looking. It's very nice. I like the shade that they used. Got some nice Tampo paint along the sides. All in all, pretty decent. Has nice wheels, and it can roll just fine. And it also has this little like a towing attachment that you can lower down, and there's a little wheel on the end of that, so you can put any of the carbots up on top of it if you so desire. The one thing that I don't care for, I know that it's cartoon accurate, but these open sections to the sides of the doors looks so hideous. I do not care for that at all. I really wish that they had at least given us a part or something that you could make it optional to just remove them, to make them toy or cartoon accurate, but I think that looks just absolutely terrible, unfortunately. It's just my personal opinion. Don't like that. But otherwise, I mean, it's decent. The color matching here for this little orange piece and the actual plastic could probably be a little bit better. But other than that, pretty decent little truck. Bring that down, you can actually see the kind of tail markings. There's no real tail light, it's just kind of markings, which is interesting. But yeah, not too bad. Let's go ahead and get them transformed. So to start off, we're gonna lift up these panels right here on this ball joint on either side, just like so. We're going to lift this panel up, just kind of up out of the way. And you're going to take this whole section here and just kind of bring it down. You're going to plug it into the front part there. The legs you're going to separate and rotate them up here all the way around. And then this part here, you're going to bring it down the wheel will flip to the opposite side, and you'll flip it back, and then you will flip the toe out, like that. So same thing here, bring this down, flip the wheel to the opposite side, bring it back, and if I can get my finger in there, flip the toe out. There's the legs. And now for the top part here, just kind of get all this out of the way. These little things here, you can actually flip them up the opposite way and then lift this panel out so that you can kind of get your finger in there and pull his head up. Just be careful of when you do, because it does have this little extra section that pokes out. So if you pull too hard on it, when this is all closed up, you might break something. So pull this up and get it out of the way. And now the arms here, I'm gonna lift them up off of that hinge, pull them off up to the side. And this whole section is going to hinge on this joint. So bring it up, and then we get the arms completely out of the way, and we can flip it back. And then on this, we're gonna go ahead and just bring the arms down. And then on these two little joints here, I'm gonna bring this down, gonna close that panel back up, and this whole section will kind of come up onto the back and kind of collapse like this. I'm gonna get the arms out of the way. And then this peg will peg right into the back of that waist part, like that. And it's just a matter of bringing his arms back down. You're gonna rotate the top section of his shoulder around, rotate his head around, and then just kind of adjust his fins off to the side. And then there he is. There is Hoist. And he is definitely something. He's something, all right. It's true to the cartoon design. I'll say that. Definitely not the best figure that NEWAGE has made, in my opinion. I don't think that he looks all that great to be, my opinion. But it does look like he does in the cartoon. I will say from the side, he lifts his arm up, you can see right through him, which is unfortunate. That definitely could have been handled better. Shoulders look kind of weird up here, real spindly up on his armpits. They look kind of funky. The major thing for me is the legs down here. He has literally no waist, so when we get into articulation, you'll see why that's a problem. But as far as like the paint and everything, I mean, he looks great. The proportions and the actual design of the figure, I don't know, man. There's his head. I think his head looks pretty good. Nice blue painted eyes. I think he gets the point across. It's all right. You can, of course, replace his hands with any of the other options. Just pull them right off, and you can give him his cannon hand. You can give him his hammer hand if you want, and his open splayed hands if you would like to. But let's get straight into articulation. So the head is on a ball joint. You can get way back a little, not really forwards at all. Side to side a little bit. You can rotate all the way around. That's fine. His little wing sections here are on ball joints, so you can move these around, get them out of the way however you want to. His shoulders, they have a little bit of play here, which is, he can lift up at this little pin here at the shoulder, which gets you about that far out. You have to kind of rotate to get past his head, so it's not really a fair judgment there. It is on a ball joint. Can kind of pivot back and forth. You can rotate it around about as far as that little binder piece will allow you to. You can rotate above the bicep all the way around. He has a double jointed elbow, which will get you 180 degrees, which is really good. And you can, of course, swivel at the wrist. And then we get into the most disappointing section of this bot. Pretty much everything that's below the waist. So no ab crunch, no waist swivel. These are his hips. Yeah, that's frankly shit. To be, it's not very good. Looks absolutely bizarre. Not very well designed. Here's the kicker. No leg back movement. The legs can't move back at all. Nothing. Nothing at all. They can move forwards, but it looks really stupid. I guess technically if you want to, you could rotate the thigh around, then rotate. No, never mind, you can't do that either. There's literally no leg back movement at all. Bizarre choice, New Age. He does have a single knee joint, so you can get it that far back. But then he has this weird joint in the front. I guess that's more for transformation, but the foot can bend forwards at an odd angle, which is just weird. The toe can move. He does have an ankle rocker, but it just doesn't, yeah. Not very good. Definitely not the best. But let's clean him up a little bit and we'll do some size comparisons. All right, size comparisons. So, as always, let's start off with a mini bot. There he is with Cliff Jumper. And here he is with a car bot. Here he is with Barricade. Here he is with his, I can't really call him mold mate, but shares a similar, the same vehicle, just a completely different design though. There he is with Trailbreaker. And then why not, there's a Constructicon back here. And then here is Optimus, Magic Square's Optimus. So, a little bit shorter than Trailbreaker and a bit taller than Carbots. So, I think he's about the right size. All right, and that's gonna do it for New Age H65 KEATON, or their Legend Scale Hoist. And he is most definitely the figure of all time. I'm actually not that big a fan of this one. The hollowness of the torso and the fact you can see through it, the hips especially, and the legs are just such a killer for me. It's such a shame because their Trailbreaker I thought was really good, and I was assuming that they were gonna kind of incorporate some of the stuff that they did with Trailbreaker into this, and I understand they wanted to make it cartoon accurate and everything with his big old beer belly and like the weird hips that that Hoist has had, but I feel like they had at least a little bit of design liberties they could have done. I don't have Magic Square's version of Hoist anymore, but I do kind of feel like Magic Square's version of this Hoist was better. Don't get me wrong, the paint on this thing is really good. The sizing works out probably a little bit better than what Magic Square's Hoist does, and it's definitely really cartoon accurate, but it's just kind of bizarre some of the choices that they had made with the design. So I don't really know if I can recommend this guy or not, because of course New Age is always a pretty expensive company to buy from. So I don't really know if this one was worth it for me. But I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think. But of course, if you like the video, please consider leaving a like, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel. Feel free to, if you want to support me, become a channel member, or you can check out my Patreon. That's more for like my 3D printing and for my Armored Core stuff, but it is probably the best way to support me. So if you would like to do so, I would really appreciate it. But of course, thank you so much for watching the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.